Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead Taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Gemini, this is for you. Remember, they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment and also check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have, and before we get into that, if you haven't joined the Radiant Nation Facebook group yet, get on in there. There's a link in the description box below so that you can join up and come in and say hi and have a good old chinwag with us, where there's, where you don't have to, be censored in some way. So your key to the week is the Hanged Man. Take it slow, take it relaxed, take it easy. Is basically what you're being asked to do. Remember, the Hanged Man, it can be about delays. I'm really sorry to say that, and I hope it's not the case, but it can be. And sometimes you are being delayed or held in stasis so that you can really understand what you're doing in a certain area or position of your life. Now, one of the things that I will say to you with this Hanged Man, because it infuses everything and it's the overarching energy for the week, you have here a real powerful consideration of where it is that you need to reassess and reevaluate what it is that you're doing in all of these different sectors of your life. So you are being encouraged here to really get very honest. And sometimes the only way to do that really is to sit still long enough to see what your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions are trying to tell you. So your actions and options this week that flew out of the deck is the Seven of Wands. For some of you, the message here is the fight that you're having, it's time to bring it to an end, right? The Seven of Wands is a conflict card. It very often says you're in the right, but here, because you've got the Hanged Man, it's kind of like, I almost feel like I want to say to a lot of you, even if you're right in an argument that you're having, at this point, it's like you and whoever the other party is involved, drop it, let it the fuck go. Like, is it really that important to hold on to this? The fact that you've got the Hanged Man here as the key to the week kind of backs this up. It's like you can have your moral high ground and be on your high horse, or you can say, you know what, this really isn't as important as losing a friendship. It's really not as important as falling out with a family member. It's really not as important as, being at odds with a colleague for the next however long I'm going to be in this job. There's something here. It's not even so much that you're being asked to back down. You're being asked to really observe whether the behavior that you're exhibiting right now, whether you are in the right or not, is how you really want people to know you, to see you, and how you want to proceed. In terms of the options that are available to you, a moment is coming where you will be able to find some kind of reconciliation. Whether you take it or not is completely up to you. For your communications and conversations, it looks like Gemini chose violence. I say this, I try to keep it light and light-hearted, but it's the Queen of Swords. This is not an easy card, right? Especially when it comes to communications, because the card in and of itself is about what we fight for and what we go to war for. I'm not saying that, like I said to you earlier, I actually think that you are in the right in whatever this argument or dispute is. You just need to ask yourself, like, how far are you willing to go just to be right? Is it really worth it in the long run? Clearly, for a lot of you, it must be, because you've got the Queen of Swords here in the communications, which means communications are going to be somewhat harsh this week, right? It looks like you're fighting a battle and you are refusing to back down. Now, this could be as well. So the Queen of Swords is an air sign woman, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. So when it comes to you, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, you get here a really strong sense of you get a really strong sense here of how you are looking to potentially go up against somebody that is in a position of power or authority. Again, if you're in the high ground, if you feel like this person has really overstepped the mark, if there's some kind of harassment or whatever that's gone on, blow that whistle and scream from the rooftops. But if this is just you battling the establishment for the sake of it, you're going to have that to carry while you're trying to study as well. You just need to ask you, sometimes you have to pick your battles, right? For those of you that are oh, come on, brain. For those of you that are for those of you that are employed by somebody else, again, there's a stalemate potentially here. It's like you are having a battle of some sort that it's like you really feel very passionate about this and you refuse to back down. Just think about the long-term implications of that. Again, unless you're in a really bad situation and you're blowing a whistle. If that's the case, blow the damn whistle and blow it hard. That's cool. If it's not that and it's the other situation, I just want you to really think about how much time you're willing to waste. If you are a business owner, entrepreneur, solopreneur, person that works for themselves, that Queen of Swords with the Seven of Wands, this could be a move or an action that you take with or through your business that ends up being delayed because someone raises a dispute against it. Maybe this is like a trademark dispute, or do you know what I mean? It's like it gets into it and you're like, oh crap, I really wanted to move ahead with that. For those of you that are, oh, come on, brain. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this actually could show up in terms of some kind of religious idea or philosophy. It's almost like you have a very strong stance on something and someone might really get you to budge from that, but you're not interested in budging from it. In which case, you know, nobody has the right to try and change our beliefs, which is one of the reasons I disagree so strongly with everything that's happening on the wider world stage. I don't care who you are or what you feel you are or whatever, like no disrespect to anybody, you do you. When you're trying to shove that down somebody else's throat, that's a problem. Take that to mean whatever you want it to mean. Come for me in the comments. Good luck. I'm just going to put that out there right about now. For those when it comes to your love life, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, that Nine of Wands with the Seven of Wands and the Queen of Swords, one of you, I can't tell you which, one of you, maybe both, and maybe this is the problem, one of you feels very slighted here, to the point where I feel like somebody in the relationship has said something whilst in the company of other people that made this person feel very small or very demoralized or very belittled. And that's the problem. This is why this person refuses to let go, because unfortunately whatever has been said to them has made them feel really small or really low. And you know, if you can understand that and maybe it helps, I think that might be the thing that helps you on your way to some kind of reconciliation. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking to mingle, I gotta be honest, this is not a love week, all right? Not with these cards and not with the Nine of Wands. It may be that somebody through a conversation that you have highlights to you why your love life is the way that it is, or why you feel a certain way, and you could discover a personal vulnerability in how you think and feel about relationships and therefore attract the same kind of partner. For your money and materials, you've got the Knight of Swords. You're getting after that money. It is coming in. You've got this with the Seven of Wands. There's a propensity this week for you to chuck money at a situation just to make it go away. I advise against that. I really do. For your physical health and vitality, this card actually has a lot to do with you. So please, please, please look after your arms, your hands, and your upper extremities, especially because you've got the Hanged Man here. This is one of those times, I touch wood, I'm not a doctor, it's not a diagnosis, but this is one of those times where if you've got a bruise that won't go away, or you get a bruise over this, it could turn into more than it actually is. So please go and get that kind of thing checked out like ASAP. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, this is going to be a very busy week. There's a lot of commuting, there's a lot of coming and going, backwards and forwards, Please be careful while you're on the roads, because it looks like wherever you are, there's going to be a lot of conflict specifically on the road, which is interesting actually. I don't know whether this is a road is being closed and it causes a jam, and then because the eclipses are in the air, everybody gets crazy, but there's something going on around the commuting element of your life, and specifically with and on the roads of where you live. There's a lot of challenge there, and it may be even, you know, especially because it's opposite that Nine of Wands, maybe an accident does happen and it ends up shutting the road down for some kind of investigation. Either which way, there's going to be a lot of photography going on around this thing. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.